Rose, fought against the House of York, symbolized by the white rose. These struggles, remembered collectively as the Wars of the Roses, were not merely disputes between ambitious nobles. They were that devastated the kingdom, destroyed ancient families, weakened royal authority, and plunged England into decades of political instability. To protect him, loyal supporters arranged for Henry to flee across the English Channel. Still a young boy, he entered exile in Brittany and later France, where he would remain for almost 14 years. These years became the foundation of his character. Unlike princes raised amid luxury and certainty, Henry matured in foreign courts, where survival depended upon diplomacy, patience, and careful judgment. Every alliance required caution. Every promise demanded scrutiny. Every decision carried enormous consequences. Rather than becoming a reckless warrior, Henry developed into a calculating strategist who understood that lasting power required far more than battlefield courage. As the Yorkist kings secured their victories, the Lancastrian cause steadily collapsed. Many of its leading supporters were killed in battle or executed after defeat. In 1471, following the deaths of King Henry VI and his son Edward of Westminster, Henry Tudor unexpectedly became one of the few surviving Lancastrian claimants. This distinction placed him in grave danger. Remaining in England meant risking imprisonment or death. Meanwhile, England experienced another dramatic political transformation. Richard III ascended the throne under circumstances that have remained controversial for centuries. The disappearance of the young princes confined within the Tower of London created widespread suspicion throughout the kingdom. Many nobles questioned Richard's legitimacy, while others feared continued instability under his rule. Gradually, dissatisfied supporters began looking beyond England's borders toward the exiled Henry Tudor. Although Henry possessed neither overwhelming military strength nor an unquestionable hereditary claim, he represented something equally powerful. He offered the possibility of ending decades of civil conflict. His marriage to a Yorkist princess could unite the rival houses that had torn England apart. For many nobles exhausted by endless warfare, peace became more attractive than continued dynastic rivalry. By the summer of 1485, Henry believed the opportunity had finally arrived. With financial assistance from France and the support of loyal followers, he assembled an invasion force and sailed for Wales. On August the 7th, he landed at Milford Haven. His army was relatively small compared to the forces available to King Richard III. Yet Henry understood that numbers alone would not determine the outcome. Political loyalty mattered just as much as military strength. As Henry marched across Wales toward central England, additional supporters joined his cause. Welsh families rallied behind him, while influential English nobles secretly prepared to change sides if circumstances favored the challenger. The entire kingdom waited anxiously for the inevitable confrontation. That decisive moment came on August 22, 1485. Richard III commanded the larger army battlefield as the reigning king. Henry Tudor possessed fewer soldiers but benefited from uncertain loyalties among Richard's own supporters. During the battle, several powerful noble families withheld their full commitment until the outcome became clearer. When they finally intervened, their decisions transformed the course of English history. Victory alone, however, could never guarantee lasting stability. Henry understood that civil wars ended only when former enemies found reasons to cooperate. One of his first and most significant political decisions was marrying Elizabeth of York in 1486. This marriage united the rival houses of Lancaster and York through both blood and symbolism. Their union created the famous Tudor Rose, combining the red rose of Lancaster with the white rose of York, representing reconciliation after decades of conflict. Henry also recognized that effective government depended upon strong institutions rather than personal charisma alone. Throughout his reign, he restored financial discipline to the monarchy, strengthened the authority of the crown, improved tax collection, encouraged trade, and reduced the military independence of powerful nobles. His government increasingly relied upon educated administrators and experienced lawyers instead of aristocratic families, whose loyalties frequently shifted. His cautious approach sometimes earned criticism from contemporaries, who considered him excessively careful or overly concerned with finances. Modern historians, however, often view these same qualities as the foundation of England's recovery. Henry inherited a kingdom exhausted by warfare and left behind a monarchy that was considerably wealthier, more secure, and better organized than it had been for generations. Henry's own claim to the English throne was relatively weak. Through his mother, he descended from King Edward III by way of the Beaufort family. Although the Beaufort line had been legitimized, questions remained regarding its right to inherit the crown. Yet in times of political chaos, legitimacy was often determined not only by blood but also by opportunity, military success, and the support of powerful allies. Henry also secured England's future through diplomatic marriages. His eldest son, Arthur, married Catherine of Aragon, forging an alliance with Spain. His daughter Margaret married James IV of Scotland, a union whose descendants would eventually unite the English and Scottish crowns more than a century later, although Prince Arthur died unexpectedly, leaving the succession to his younger brother Henry. History often remembers Henry VIII for his 6 wives and Elizabeth I for England's golden age. But neither story could have unfolded without the patient work of Henry VII. He founded the Tudor Dynasty, restored confidence in the monarchy, strengthened royal government, and transformed a divided kingdom into a more stable and prosperous nation. His greatest triumph was not simply winning the Battle of Bosworth. It was ensuring that England would never again descend into the same destructive cycle of dynastic warfare. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this historical documentary, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know which king, queen, emperor, or historical figure you would like to see featured next. Until our next journey into history, thank you for watching.
May be the most overlooked queen in English history, and without her there may never have been a. She was daughter to a king, mother and grandmother to kings and queens. To strengthen his claim to the throne, he married Elizabeth and symbolically ending the Wars of the Roses. Elizabeth's royal blood gave the new Tudor dynasty the legitimacy it needed. Share this, and without her there may never have been a Tudor dynasty. She was daughter to a king, wife to a king, mother and queens. To the throne, Henry Tudor, he married Elizabeth of York and symbolically ending the Wars of the Roses. While Elizabeth's royal blood gave the new dynasty the legitimacy it needed. Comment Queen to watch the extended version free. Elizabeth of York may be the most overlooked in English history, and without her there may never have been a Tudor dynasty. She was king, mother and grandmother to kings and queens. To strengthen his claim to the throne, he married Elizabeth of York and symbolically. While Elizabeth's royal blood gave the new Tudor dynasty the legitimacy it needed. Share this video and comment Queen to watch the extended version free. Elizabeth of York may be the most overlooked queen in English history, and without her there may never have been a Tudor dynasty. She was daughter to a king,